I believe how we do one thing is how we do everything. Many people, like Les Brown, when I was coaching Les, he would always tell me that. He'd say, Peter Anthony, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Welcome, here we are at Mi Buena Vida today. This is the Utah Business Spotlight. I am with my friends Wes, I'm with Russ, I'm with Jessica, I'm with Diego, and we're gonna be talking about food, we're gonna be talking about skateboards, we're gonna be talking about office equipment, we're gonna be talking about how you do really incredible videos and why your business should be on video. But right now, man, we gotta talk about the shrimp. Guys,
Yeah,
like, is that cool?
that's a wow factor right there.
Mi Buena Vida is the best Mexican restaurant in Utah. We're definitely among the top 5. I'm going to find the other 4, but right now these guys hold the #1 place in my heart. Look at this, though, and can you smell it?
Art.
Oh yeah.
It's
I don't wanna touch
it's
it.
art, right? And when you come here, it's art that doesn't cost the same amount as money as art because you get to eat it, and it's wonderful. So we should get knives and forks. Can you hand me some? Let's gentlemen. Ladies,
Yeah.
jump in there.
Let's
and
go.
try a
Let's
piece
go.
before we start talking skateboards, because we've got some great ideas. We're just talking about energy too, and one of your buddies
Yeah,
and how that works out. And
energy, aquaponics, all sorts of things that all funnel through friends. So yes,
yeah,
I don't know who should dig into this
you
first.
go first,
I'm just-
and then we're gonna let the
Do I
lady go
tip it
first.
over?
But she wouldn't want to try to not tip it over. Just here, tip
All right,
it.
look,
Tip it over.
there we go.
Jess, your neck.
Broke it. Thank you.
Go for it.
Oh my.
No, don't.
Is it good?
That is so good.
Is that so good? Yeah, my wife got this last time, and I think this is the one she got, but it looked pretty amazing.
I mean, just the presentation and the taste of everything.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have to try the mango. So they make their own salsa, and this mango on
That's
the
a great
shrimp
idea.
has got to be ridiculous.
I never thought about dipping it in the mango. That's the right move.
Oh yeah.
That's delicious.
I'm gonna put it right here. It has a kick. All right, Wes is brave. He's going for it. I'm gonna watch his face.
I see it. All of us.
That's great.
Do it, Wes. Nice. No, it's a 5-second delay, right? It's like when you fall on a skateboard and you know you hurt yourself. It takes you a second. When you're an adult, you're like, is anybody watching?
You wiggle your toes first, then
Yeah.
you wiggle your everything else.
That was
Okay.
that's
Is that good? Keep munching. Keep munching. So I'm excited. First and foremost, Wes, thank you for putting this together, man. Like, you're a stud. Your business is killing it. Now you've got me so thinking. The last time we spoke, you're like, Peter Anthony, you spend 10 hours a day working and only 6 hours a day sleeping, and you spent more money on your mattress than you did on your chair. And all I can do is think about, I did. I deserve a better chair. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so I'm texting.
Was that the sales pitch?
yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be a sales pitch. It's the truth.
It is.
It's the truth. And now I'm thinking, okay, so I need a chair. And he has the best checklist for chairs. Little bit of work, but it was serious. It was like I'm getting audited for, like, okay, cool. Where do you sit? How much do you weigh? How tall are you? What's your inseam? I'm like, wow, this is like, what do
Bank account, Social
Yeah.
Security.
What's your width? I'm like, oh, I better lose some more weight because I'm ultra wide plus. But yeah, it was really, it's interesting because I think we share a lot of the same.
Well, you know the industry too. You know the names of stuff, and you also know some of the furniture. So, plus the design aspect you have from your background, like, it's amazing to be able to talk to you about it. Where most people are like, it's just a chair.
It's never just a chair.
Yeah.
And when we talk about it, it's even like we've started changing around Bad Bet and Club Social. How do you feel about that?
It's been exciting to see. I mean, Bad Bet's like always changing, but it's just been like so fun to see like all the color, just everything come together. it's been really nice.
Yeah.
I love it, man. And I'm going to make you talk Russ out of that board because that color scheme goes perfect next to our candy. We're putting in candy, right? What are they called? The penny machines.
Oh, gotcha.
Dispensers. The dispensers.
I should have made one with salsa and chips inside of it, since
Oh.
we're coming here.
This is
right?
good. We're not
Little
going to let
torti-
that.
little tortilla
Ladies and
inside
gentlemen,
of
we're not letting this go to waste. So
No.
please keep eating. But so I love the design that you're doing with your company, how you're integrating with amazing places, offices especially. I think that culture, I think it would make sense to bring, and if you want more productivity, just make the space cooler, right?
I mean, there's the collaboration side of COVID that pushed people home, then they were virtual, but now when they're back in the office, it's almost like, well, who do I talk to? How do I talk to them? Where do I talk to them, right? So if you can create that space, that function, that flow,
Yeah.
it changes innovation can happen.
Can we move this down?
Absolutely.
Because they want to bring, Diego, they're behind you. They're bringing food. So let's
Let me grab one of
make
those.
room for food.
Thank
'Cause
you.
we love food, clearly.
Want to do this?
I love
I'm going to do
food.
that.
And look, so each one, so these are the salads. Like, that's just, maybe that's the shrimp she had. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to give you this.
Thank you.
And I'm going to give you this. And I'm going to put this
Oh,
here.
So let's
Unbelievable.
grab that last one so we can get rid of
Yes,
that.
grab that last one.
Okay, thank you. There's another one actually.
Nope. No problem.
That's really hot.
Ooh.
That's really hot.
Yummy.
All right.
Yummy. I think we should eat. Right? I'm Italian. We do everything over food.
Right on.
So
Wow.
here, and I just, but look at these presentations. Is that cool?
Oh,
Most
yeah.
people don't.
Uh,
So here's the thing: like we all can appreciate because we're all in design. You're in design. You're in design. You're designing skateboards. You're designing lives and spaces. You're designing film and execution and social. I design social graphically. I take everything everybody does and put it into something that's beautiful. And the wrapper is so important. But that's why I love this restaurant, because they could have just poured some green sauce on it and
Yeah.
popped it in front of you.
Yeah.
And they don't charge you anymore to do that. But someone had to learn
how to do that right.
They have
I
it-
always look at this stuff and I always think of the book Raving Fans.
Yes.
Because once you create somebody to wow them, they're going to go tell, like you did, all your friends. You're going to tell others about it. You're going to take pictures of it. You're going to send it. You're going to post about it. Then all of a sudden, they become a raving fan because everybody's giving them reviews.
Yeah. And there's so many good books. Like just sprinkling the pepper around the edge of they didn't have to do that. They don't have to put the flour there. They don't have to. It wouldn't change. No one would say, well, I'm paying too much because there's no flour.
I didn't get any pepper around it.
Yeah, or I didn't have this beautiful plate and this beautiful presentation. So it's it's a bon appetit. I mean, start eating
let's do
before
it.
you gotta.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
good. Don't worry.
where's yours?
It's
I can
coming,
hear it.
right?
I can
You
hear
it. And it's fresh and yummy and beautiful.
I know where to start with this thing.
Yeah. And
So how'd you hear about this restaurant?
so this is a great story. I was walking with my daughter who wanted a coffee at a bakery. And she said, there's a place here. This is one of my favorite areas in Salt Lake. And I knew about Caputo's because we eat at Caputo's and it's right next door. So we came to see this other little place, and all of a sudden
Thank you.
I said, and my wife loves Mexican, but I don't. It's not I'm Italian. I'm going to eat Italian food.
Say that
And if
again. I'm Italian.
I'm Italian.
Italian.
And if I'm not going to eat it, that's why I knew where Caputo's was, right? But if I'm not going to eat Italian, I'm probably going to eat sushi because it's the furthest thing from Italian, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And if I'm not going to eat sushi, I'm going to eat a steak. But I saw this place and I said, this looks like a really good place. I got to try it out. So I asked my daughter, and she doesn't really, it's not. She likes it, but she doesn't love it. But we came here, and I can't tell you, they made me a coffee with cinnamon in it. And I was like, I didn't even ask them to put cinnamon in it, but that's how I like my coffee.
Yeah.
And it's, and every little thing that they touched was ridiculously yummy. And when you ask for a particular thing like guacamole, if you bring me a little thing of guacamole that's this big and you charge me $20 for it, I'm going to be aggravated. If you bring me guacamole, because everybody likes it, and you like it with your food. It's just yummy. And if you look at the salad, those are cherry tomatoes sliced in half. They don't even just drop them in. Somebody has to slice them, right? And they slice the tortillas and they put cheese in, and they ask you. It's really yummy. You want to try some salad? You should try some salad. It's really, really yummy. You should try some salad. It's just ridiculously good. So I appreciate the presentation. I appreciate that it...
Tried it before, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So fit.
It's so good, right?
So good.
So, and I like this is a beautiful piece of artwork. That's a really well done mural. The lighting is just enough so it doesn't lose its Mexican heritage. It enhances it, and it shows you what's the best things about Mexico versus other restaurants that maybe are just trying to be a Mexican franchise.
Yeah.
So we really, really love this place. So we stumbled across it, and then I came back, and then I came back. And what I love is they remember my name, they remember what I eat, they remember how I like to eat it. They always seat us, they always and often you come someplace as a man, right? You develop a relationship, you're spending money, they remember you. And then generally the females who are there are very kind to you. They remember your name, and that makes our wives, not your wife, but our wives uncomfortable because they're kind of entering your world, but other people are paying attention to you.
Yeah.
They were on top of my wife and kids like nobody's business. They made her feel like $1 million.
Wow, that's
and
great.
that, for me,
Yeah.
that's, because beyond the fact that it saves you a lot of fights at home. Right?
We're never going back to that
Drive back, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's how you want your family to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Especially today, because every single meal is an investment, right? Because the money isn't the way it used to be.
Yep.
And, meals are expensive today, so if you go and they celebrate you, then I think it's a really wonderful thing. And there's some other restaurants that I think do a really good job of celebrating people, and then some that don't. But what we were talking about it, I think the last time we got together, 9 out of 10 businesses surveyed, if you ask them, what do you do differently? They all say customer service. We care about our customers. 7 out of 10 customers surveyed on their exit say, I left these guys because they have crappy customer service.
Yeah.
So what's the truth? The truth is that most businesses live in mediocrity. They think about themselves and they don't think about the client. They're not focused to the client.
Thank you.
Like, look at that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you're never going to finish that. and you're going to be blown away how yummy it is. It's really good. How's your burrito?
That's awesome.
How's your shrimp? You don't know.
Yeah.
Manja. How do you say manja in Spanish?
What is manjas?
Manja is like eat up.
Come, yeah.
Come? Come?
Yeah.
Come? Doesn't sound as good as manj. Manja.
Okay. Come.
So I think it's interesting, right? And when you're setting up the like I couldn't even I mean even when we used to build salons, and we built a lot of salons, you probably see the same thing, Wes. Like I look at the chairs and I'm like, this is a terrible chair. It's a $300 chair. I charged when in the 90s, I would charge anywhere between $150 and $250 for a haircut.
Wow.
In the early 90s,
Wow.
late 80s, all the way up. It was very expensive. I'm not going to make somebody sit in a chair for $150 to $200, and if I added color and stuff, you're in that chair for 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's got screws up your butt. That's right, because the pad's this thing, and it's terrible. It's terrible. because they're more interested in their experience than the customers.
Yeah.
And I think here, they're more interested in the customer's experience than theirs.
Well, I think everybody judges everywhere they go. So the next Mexican place I go for food, you're going to judge according to the very best you got. From a haircut place, I went to this one place downtown Salt Lake, and it was so different. He actually gave me, as small as this is, he gave me Q-tips. And I always remember him because no one else gives you Q-tips. And what do you do after you get a haircut? You have hair in your ears, and you're using your finger to get it out.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And I always thought, I don't really remember the cost of the place, but I always remember that's the place that gives you the Q-tips. It was something different. So I judged all the rest of them based on I didn't get a Q-tip.
And I think one of the important things that people miss too is, the presentation of the design aspect can be there, but the fruition or the completion of it by your installation side has to match the design outcome, right? And if that doesn't happen, the customer service level can drop just because they don't understand maybe the full design. So if the company doesn't have their own in-house installation team, for us, it's a harder thing to control the outcome.
It's so hard to control. And I think, so one of the things that made us one of the top businesses in the country for so long, we had scripts. And that's one of the things we're designing for Bad Bet. So as you go through the rooms, you'll know that this is the John Wick room. This is the shabby chic room. This is the Adam family's library, right? This is our reception center. This is our podcast, this is our podcast manifestation room, right? So you add little adjectives and then you come up with descriptors around that because stories are what we buy into.
Yeah.
Right? Like we were exchanging stories about these incredible boards and, what you'll get to see that one of these boards lights up and this board has candy corns laced into it. And I'm like, oh.
Well, that's what I wanted. Anybody can watch a longboard going down the road.
Sure.
And you're like, oh, there's another wood longboard. But no one's going to remember that brand or what it was. So I thought, why not do something everybody's going to say, what did I just see? Mm-hmm. And it's the shock factor of a story. Even what you said, of every room, you remember the room that you went into or the experience that you had with it.
So I don't skate, but is this harder to skate than like a wood one, or does it affect it at all?
No, a lot easier because longboards are wide, big wheels, so you kind of roll over those cracks and things, and you have a lot of space. So you're not even trying to watch your feet as much.
Want to watch your kids?
Huh? Yeah. No, I was taking a picture of that.
Yeah, so it's just a lot easier to ride longboards. And the older you get, longboards is safer for me to ride than a skateboard because if I fall, I don't get up for a while, So longboard, I feel safer. So it's...
When you do dance moves on it, I know there's like videos where people are on there.
I leave that to our influencers and our riders. They're really good at it.
Yeah.
Me, no, I can't walk in a straight line, but I can ride a longboard, just cruise
somewhat
on
straight.
it.
I'm just kidding.
Somewhat straight. I still veer a little bit, but
It's okay.
it's okay.
Have fun.
We were talking about your longboards. And one of my strategies beyond the story for marketing is bundling. I think it's so important. And how you bundle to a story tells a story.
Yeah.
So when we work with apparel companies, we teach them how to bundle. Because 3 shirts and 2 pairs of pants equals a plethora. It equals 6 outfits. But if you add a hoodie, you now have even more.
Yeah.
If you add a hoodie and shoes or 2 pairs, you now have even more. Add a beanie and you can exponentially, out of 6 or 7 pieces, create 40 or 50 outfits.
Yep, you got a month's worth.
Yeah, and the key is, how does this fit into my lifestyle? How does it fit into my corporate story? How do I share that? We were talking, Wes and I were talking to you about maybe adding, driving a corporate insignias into the boards and giving them as corporate gifts, but then bundling that with a really cool hoodie. What an incredible gift.
They get the hoodie, the beanie, and
yeah, they get the hoodie,
and
the
board.
beanie, and the board.
Yeah, we tried that. We touched on it just barely. We did a big collab with Snap-on Tools, and we did bundle in a helmet. you know, the red helmet with their logo on it.
Which
But
is
I should
super
have,
cool.
but I should have gone a little bit farther. Like you said, a lot of those people may hang the board on their wall versus have a hoodie or a beanie that they may wear that on the weekends. So that would have been a lot more branding and useful uses for every individual.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Let's
funny.
take.
It was funny because like I walked into one of our customers and we're looking at doing some furniture, and I look over and I'm like, hey, I know the owner of that company. They got one of your
Oh,
ghost
really?
boards on the wall.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it was really cool just to see like not just the aspect of how amazing they look in person, but people actually using them out in the public too.
In the wild, I call it.
Yeah, in the wild.
Which
I like
we
Yeah, when I
love.
see one in the wild, it's kind of still that shock factor. Anytime you see something you made, and all of a sudden you're in even another country or state or anywhere, you're like, wait, that's mine. I probably touched it.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and I think I just think, well, I love the culture of skateboarding. I love that if you're my age, if you're between 50 and 65, you probably remember the skateboarders of the 70s and 80s, the Russell Powells, the Tony Alvas. You also probably remember Tony Hawk as well,
Yeah.
right?
He's probably in the most public eye.
He's
right
the most
now.
public, right?
Yeah.
He's always been.
Yeah.
Right? He stood on the shoulder of giants, right?
He did.
But now you think I might not want to ride a board, but I want to remember riding a board. You know, so having one of these in my office in this really cool way, especially that they light up and they become accent pieces and design pieces, allows me to preserve part of my life and share part of my life with my family without still doing it.
Yeah, it's there to say, this was part of me before you knew
Yeah.
me. You know, because a lot of all our kids didn't know what we were like when we were 12.
No.
And there's a lot of those stories we'll never tell them. We don't know how. But
Yeah.
there's also that piece of history of saying, this is what I was. This is who I was. This is still a love that I have. And I think everybody has that. And that's why music always comes in. I still listen to 80s music because it has that nostalgia of remembering, oh my gosh, I remember driving up the canyon listening to that song. Or I remember doing this with that song. So there's different senses from smell to hear, you know, to see that still bring back, you know, who you were and where you were raised.
And that association reinvigorates where you're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think it's, you know, like if I'm designing offices and I want them to have a Google-esque feel, like for people to think they're really hip, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
wants to think they work in a hip, cool place that's like, you know, that has like a Google lobby or a Facebook lobby, right? They want to feel good. I would be putting boards, I'd be hanging your boards everywhere. You ready for this?
Yes,
I'd
Harry.
hang them with motivation quotes on each one of them.
So replacing the old
good.
poster to surfboards, longboards, things that make it hip and cool.
The things that make it hip and cool.
Yeah.
Like dreams, you know, you're only as big as your dreams.
Yeah.
Teamwork is the best work. You know, like whatever it is, and then have them everywhere inscribed into different boards. Now, here's the really cool part for you as a business. You know those boards are probably not going to get ridden. So if you take your seconds and turn the seconds into art,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
so it doesn't really matter that you don't have to put the fanciest trucks on. You put the
Yeah. The
prettiest
ones that are going
color.
to hang. Yeah. The
ones that are
nice
gonna
color.
hang.
Yeah.
right? And you put them in each thing. Then as people are going down, here's the thing. If I'm seeing posters, I'm like, yeah, I've seen it a million times. I could buy it on Amazon. If I see 12 boards with the company's 12 rules, think about this. 12 rules of the company. Every company has a rule, right? Every company has a mission statement.
Yep.
Here's our value proposition. And the value proposition goes from board to board. Who in the company is not reading that?
Everybody
Which
is
one
now.
of the people walking in, if you drive that into your design, say, oh man, we've got a great design idea for you. My friend owns, you know, Ghost Boards, and we could do this, and here's a picture of it, and here's 12 boards, and you know, what did it cost? Okay, cool. Let's say you're charging $300 a board. Let's just, I'm not pricing your stuff out. But let's say it's $300 a board.
You're hired.
Yeah, I know. It's $3,600. Am I going to say no to a $3,600 art installation that is completely unique and designed around my company?
And has my motto and everything on it.
Let alone when you hire a new person and you say, here's our 12 rules of the company
Yeah.
or our belief system.
Yep.
They get to see, wow, they actually put on something that matters more than just a piece of paper.
And then that same company you give when you can create small boards that hang and then just inscribe their winnings. So let's say it's a real estate firm. Here's to our best annual salesperson. Right? And they have something that hangs in their office. So when every time someone comes in, you never really look at their posters.
No.
You never really look at their trophies. But you sure would look at that and say, what'd you get that for?
Yeah.
Funny you should ask. Last year,
Yeah, I was number one.
I was number one. Really? That's cool. The idea.
And I'm not throwing it away after I leave this place.
No. The idea in marketing is to inspire storytelling.
And I love the idea of what you had done originally, like the plaque idea, like the generational, the option to show people generationally what you did to achieve something, let alone it'd be cool for someone to get something with a plaque on it, but also their children even remember those memories of just a child sitting on the board in an office or in their space with their parent. Like those would be memories that I remember this board. I was
My kid was 4 years old.
nostalgic. It's something that's going to bring a memory, like you said, back to that story.
So here's
I love it.
my goal for you for Christmas. Here's your bundle. You're gonna do a 6-pack or a baker's dozen, and you're gonna get your sales team to call up the corporations, and come down with a design prototype, and say, hey, this is what you get. Take some pictures of it. Take you about a day to do it. Pictures can be enhanced digitally,
Sure.
so that's easy. And you just show them and say, hey, man, we're going to put your company here, and this is the perfect gift to your best customers, because I promise you they'll never forget it.
Yep.
And when they get it at Christmas time and it's sitting under the tree, they're going to be like, that was really cool. I wanted
Where'd
to
that
see it."
come from?
And if it's a guy, what guy at one point in his life didn't want to skateboard for Christmas?
Every one of them. Every
one
girl
of us
wanted
wanted
a
a
doll.
really cool skateboard with really cool, colorful trucks, and right.
Yeah.
So if you put that into play, and they can buy a corporate dozen, they can get a mixture of boards, or you can design their board and you can put the corporate logo in the mixture.
Yeah.
So you're just going to put their corporate logo on the boards, and then they get a really cool shirt with that's co-branded with
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
So put their corporation on the shirt too.
Oh, absolutely. I
No.
get it. I love it.
Do you know? Do you guys? Do you happen to know J5? Do you know my boy Ted?
No.
Oh, I got to introduce.
So
you to him.
J5, we need to be.
J5, yeah.
All right.
They're the guys who do absolutely some of the best corporate swag,
Really?
like
Wow.
full on, but like gangster stuff.
What's the company? Is it J5?
J5.
Okay.
Fine.
J5. As a matter of fact, I'll do it. I'll drop Ted into our thing. They're
Yeah.
amazing. They do amazing work, but he's national. Like he does all
Does he
Taylor
live here?
Sheridan
Where's he
stuff.
live?
He lives in Florida now. He's
Oh,
from
okay.
Utah.
Oh, okay.
But they do all the 4-6's Ranch and Yellowstone and all the corporate media stuff there. But when I tell you quality, like the stuff that he gets, off the charts, man. It's very, very cool, especially for the skate world where you're competing against those really thick, very high profile pieces.
Sure.
And I like the idea of where you were going with the bundle too, because I think as business owners, like ultimately we want to take care of our customers, but if you were to create a board for a customer and it's a decent sized customer and they haven't paid, now you have one piece to go up and just say, I just want to say thanks for letting us do your project. But now that's going to prompt them to want to get them paid quicker too on a
Yeah.
business aspect.
Never thought about that side of
The
it.
law of reciprocity.
The accounts receivables,
kicks
this
in.
becomes a gift.
Yeah. Well, you're top of mind at worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so big that it's sitting somewhere that the owner can see and
They
say,
trip over that.
"Oh man, I
It's
better
not something
pay
you can
these
rip
guys."
up and just go throw away
Yeah.
or like.
I'm not gonna. It's not a box of butter cookies that I'm gonna give to my receptionist to take home.
Yeah.
You know. The other thing I was thinking, you know, we're doing the same thing at Bad Bet is we've just bundled for our club social. So we're doing 15 curated videos a month for our clients for $900, and we post. So they shoot them, we format them, we edit them, and we post them across 3 different platforms for $900 a month. And they can use our shooting facility to shoot them. And
Wow.
we'll kind of guide them through it. You can't get a social media person for that.
No.
Never mind someone who's going to edit.
And
we're
film.
not, yeah, and we're not throwing these into an AI editor. You know, we're actually.
Why are you calling me out?
But we're actually curating your B-roll with you. We're determining where your logo should be placed. Is it in the top one third, so that this way it's being seen? How are you being heard? The feedback that we offer so that you can tell a better story is incredible. And that's what's making us Club Social grow like weeds, because no one can offer that. You know, and then that combined with hopefully some of my marketing expertise that people are getting free once a week.
Yeah, they're getting free advice with that. I mean, that alone's worth the money.
And I just want to give you guys a plug too, because you know, as another podcaster who's different, I think what you guys are doing is amazing, because you're giving them the ability and availability to curate different types of settings for each episode to then talk to different audiences, but also their branding and their messaging continues to come out the same way. It's consistent, but the behind the scenes stuff is also different, so it's creating new visibility, new reach, and I think that's really cool how you guys have done that.
It's super cool. And because once we cap out, Club Social caps out at about 150 people. So that the next level, the next phase of that is because I'm so into community, and that's what we develop. You'll see Jessica and I do a weekly phone call series with a group of our members, inviting them into a boardroom where we can talk about their collabs. And that's all free of charge. So it's like we'll invite 12 people to lunch.
Tell
And
me
we'll
you're
say-
filming all that and you're
Yeah.
recording all that.
All of its
Oh,
content.
that's so great.
Yeah, so
it's so great.
So I come in, I'll help you collab between 2 people so that you understand and they understand where, you know, there's no reason if, let's say he's done, for the sake of argument, Wes's company has done 1,000 installations. And he says, you know what, I really like your idea of the art thing. We're going to do a collab. And just I'm just throwing this out there, and it's like he doesn't really need the money, but maybe you say, okay, cool, we're gonna charge $3,500 an installation, and you're gonna get $500, and we're gonna install your 7 rules or your 10 rules. We'll come, we'll hang them, we'll design each piece with the owner of the company. Now here's what's really cool. Let's say you do 10 of them or 12, whatever it is, and it's $3,500. He could care less about the $500. It's just gratuitous.
Yeah.
It's nice, right? But
Yeah.
if you get 20 companies, that's good for you. But what did he just say? I hope we're filming it.
Yeah.
Freaking
Because if that goes through all 10 of their corporate cultures or all 20 of their corporate cultures, it's so powerful for you that you almost want to do it for free.
Yeah.
Because the corporate world would be like, oh, and then you talk, and then you hit that followed up with a little piece of content that you created that says, yeah, one of the things that we forgot to tell you is here's what our corporate trophies look like and why they're so cool. And they come with, oh, this is what we should put them with. You ready? Because I'm giving you guys one more piece of genius.
I'm glad it's being recorded because I have to have my notes out here.
But here's what would be cool, right? Because we know most of these are going to old people. So we give them the beanie, we give them the hoodie, and we get gloves with their corporate logo embossed. But you can get the Home Depot leather gloves for like $10. So we can buy a bunch of them throw in a little corporate logo, and now they're not going to hurt their hands, and they come in a beautiful little $1 sack that's drawstring, and it would be ridiculously cool to receive that with a big bow. How special would you feel?
That'd be cool.
That'd be ridiculously cool, don't you think? And now it's like you're not going to ruin your hands, so you're not afraid. You put the gloves on because you know you're going to face plant if you actually want to do it, but it's just fun. And then that makes the whole thing fun and memorable, and people will never forget. And the whole thing, the reason that we had 100,000 people, over 100,000 people in our database as a hair salon in the 90s when there was no social media, was because we were expert storytellers.
Yeah.
And we understood that frequency creates wealth. I know most people have heard of the vacuum cleaner Kirby, Krby, right? And they were these big, and they're laughing because they went on missions and they probably sold Kirby's too, like I did, because I grew up with, right?
Yeah, I did
Kirby's, Rainbows, and Electrolux, right? But here's the thing, the challenge why Kirby's were terrible idea, because once everybody had one, they never died.
Yeah.
No one.
I still have one.
Yes.
That big one.
Yeah. And you can't break it. You can't get rid of it. You can't move it forward.
But you do buy the bags all the time.
The first ones didn't come with bags. Did
Yeah,
you
I know.
that?
Yes.
Then they had to create a thing for bags.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. So anyway, was this fun?
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
How good is the food?
It's really good.
It's awesome.
It's really good, but
I've got a question for you, and I'd love for you to answer.
may I steal one of
I was
those?
gonna offer, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
I just think it'd be cool to do. What do you? And now you're eating. Sorry. What do you tell someone also in a?
Oh my gosh! You guys, got to try one. Try one before you talk to me.
I've got
Spicy,
plenty of
but
steak.
it's really, really good.
What is it? Shrimp?
It's just, oh my gosh. Wes, you got to try one. It's so good.
Wow.
Wow, you got the one. You picked the winner. Winner.
All right, Wes was going to ask a question now.
Now his mouth is full. Diego did it to us on
So,
purpose.
personal brand or business brand, or do you merge the two?
So here's what I feel, and this is my feeling about marketing. So share with me if you believe. Once I say it, you won't be able to unsee it or unhear it.
Okay.
I believe how we do one thing is how we do everything. Many people, like Les Brown, when I was coaching Les, he would always tell me that. He'd say, Peter Anthony, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Within that, I believe that the way we do personal is the way we do business. So the way we do business tells you a lot about the person. How do we take care of the people around us? That's why I love your business. I think that model is incredible. Are we having fun? Is it simple? Is it cool? Is it memorable? So our branding for marketing is simple, fun, and memorable. If something's simple, if it's fun, and I'll remember it, I'll share it, right? But my belief, and I think we share this, I haven't talked to you about it, but Wes and I have had multiple conversations. My belief is that we're all children of God, and as we become business owners, we become stewards of God's children. We don't have a fiduciary responsibility. We have a spiritual responsibility to take care of God's children in the most ethical way possible, to give them the best opportunities to flourish, to have fun, to smile, to understand. So I approach business that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I think what you're asking is an extension of you. I think if you do your business right, it is an extension of you. Now, when you go work for a company and you're young, you're always trying to brand the company and climb this corporate ladder, but it's not really yours, and you're just kind of a part of somebody else's, I think, train and ship. I think when you own a business, it is you, and that's your brand, that's who you are. And even my friend that has passed away, he was known as Ghost Board Dave. And it was but it was his personality. That's who everybody wanted to know him as, that, and that he was just always happy going. And it went but it fit him. He was a surfer, loved skating, longboarding. He just wanted to be known as, I'm the fun guy. That's what you tell people. I'm the fun guy, and I make you smile. And I think if you take your business in that approach of networking, to share with others, to help others, in this business, sometimes I've heard those things that being a CEO is lonely, lonely at the top. And we need others to be able to say, can I teach you what I've been learning and all the pitfalls I've fallen into? You want to share.
The best
you want to let it
CEOs
out.
want to share. The best CEOs want to collaborate, and they find the students.
Yeah, well, I think it's like our children is, you don't want your children sometimes doing something you did that was really dumb, and learn the same experience
Did you hear
did
that?
on that.
Don't ever do what I did.
Yeah, because it was painful to learn. But there are others that you want them to go through it, because that's who our personality became and how we became who we are.
Sure.
So I don't want to take away any of my experiences either, but if I could share with others and speak with other entrepreneurs, because it's not lonely, it doesn't need to be lonely if you're collaborating, talking, sharing ideas, or even introductions.
And that's why we've called it Club Social. You have to get the social media stuff out, but then when we come back and we can have lunches and time and we spend time, what do they say? The family that plays together stays together.
Yeah.
If we can play together more and find more of those moments, we'll all grow organically, and then what seems scary in the future becomes challenging and exciting and fun.
And I think what you said is very valuable, because I think that how we do one thing is how we do everything. But ultimately, if you have children, they are watching every move. If you have employees, they are also watching every move.
Every move.
Every move. So if you say you need to do this, but you don't do it, they'll be like, how does that work?
Congruency is so important.
Yeah, no, I had a boss back in my 20s actually taught me that. She said, hey, Russ, nobody sees what time you come in, but they know if you're late. If you're later than them, and then they don't know when you leave unless you leave earlier than them. She goes, be the first one there, be the last one to leave, and you'll start leading by example to everybody else. Don't come in late, leave early, because then everybody thinks, they lose that respect or that following. Well, I can do that too.
Yeah.
And so I think that does follow. And I think it's with everything you do, from socializing, interacting, to networking. If you're closed with all who you are, or don't respond to messages like that, people start looking at you as like, ooh, do you really want to be around that person? They don't answer their emails. They don't answer their texts. Like, it kind of feels yucky, to be around them.
I love it.
I just want to say one more thing at Club Social for you. I think what you guys are doing on that collaborative front with getting 4, 10, 20 business owners together, or your clients, that's where people can be open and vulnerable and say it is hard. Oh, but guess what? I've been through it. I can help you. Or I understand.
And it's a safe space, but it's also a space where you're going to get answers.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't let anybody leaving. I'm Italian. You're not going to leave my table hungry, so as soon as the cameras go up, which is in about 30 seconds,
we're eating more.
We're going to finish. We're going to get some flan for dessert. Don't you worry, you. But first and foremost, I want you to introduce yourself, and I want to thank you, so that this way, name, what business you're representing, and did you love the food?
Jessica Lorenzo is my name. I own Bad Bet, and the food was amazing. So thank you so much, Peter, for bringing us here. It was a lot of fun, and I know I'm really shy and just not really talking, but I love everything that you guys are saying, and it's been a lot of fun.
Right on, Wes.
Camera.
Say something great about the restaurant. Whatever. This camera.
Okay. Restaurant's amazing. The Italian side of you comes back out. The design side of me, I'm not great at colors, but I'll tell you what, it's amazing. It's unbelievably amazing. The food was amazing. The staff's amazing. The company right here is amazing. And my name's Wes Israelson. I own Main Street Office, Main Street Commercial Moving. We help you love this type of thing for your office space. That's what we do.
I love it.
I'm Russ Warner, owner of Skateboards. We manufacture clear acrylic longboards to make people happy. And Mexican is one of my favorite foods. And this is amazing. Any day I eat Mexican is a good day. So today is a great day. because I get Mexican, I get to talk about ghost boards and meet wonderful people for a great lunch. And it should be like a Friday, but I guess it's only a Thursday.
All right, guys, Mi Buena Vida. Thank you so much to the team here and the staff for letting us do this. We're going to get the owners on film. They weren't available today, but I promise you, you're going to see them. You're going to talk to them. We're going to have a little one-on-one with them as well. This is Utah Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Peter Anthony. Like, subscribe. We'll see you at the next one.